Hi, I'm David, and this is my story and the story of Pomelo. I think, when we think about what makes us as a brand successful, it really comes down to the team. So the employees, the management. So if you walk into our office, you will see, photographers, stylists, graphic designers working hand in hand with machine learning experts, business intelligence analysts, UI UX designers, developers, right? And I think that coming together is really important in creating kind of new, unique ideas that can move fashion tech forward. So that's really our goal and our experience so far. When we started Pomelo, we were thinking about, what it means to express oneself, to show your style, and that's really how we started Pomelo. Whether you walk around the streets of Bangkok from Siam Square to Platinum, you can see that, fashion is big, it's huge, it's part of everyone's life. Previously, I also had some experience as one of the co-founders of Lazada, so I understand the power of e-commerce, of digital, and we wanted to bring that together with fashion to create Pomelo. Yeah, I think if you look at Southeast Asia today, where it was just 5-10 years ago, you can see that the trend towards digital adoption is fast, right? More and more people are moving online, whether it's food, travel, shopping, content, it's all moving online. When we think about fashion, right, we wanted to answer the question, how can we use technology, how can we use e-commerce to make fashion better, the fashion retail experience better? And that's really where we started. Currently we operate in Thailand, that's our headquarters, but we also operate in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. If you look at the market, female fashion is definitely the biggest part of the market, right? And what I learned, throughout my business career is you have to start with the biggest opportunities. And if you can make your business there, then you can start branching out into different customer segments, different product types, different types of business models. So for us, it was really important to win over the female customer demographic, right? We started as a brand, online only, and that was a very interesting period because it really allowed us to study, take the time to understand, okay, what does the market want? What are the pain points? How can we create a better experience? From there, we then expanded into new geographies. So riding off of the momentum of the growth of the brand, we first entered Singapore and then Indonesia subsequently. At that point, we do actually an annual survey of all of our customers, and we ask them in the survey, what is the number one thing that you want to see from Pomelo? And interestingly enough, they said they want to see physical retail stores, which was really surprising to me because as a leader in the e-commerce space, I always thought, okay, e-commerce is going to be the future, right? And that's what we need to focus on. But actually, what the customers wanted, they wanted a place to touch, feel, experience the product. But we didn't want to just open stores, so we introduced our signature experience, which is called Tap, Try, Buy, that allows you to try on products, any of the products online in one of our stores, partner locations, or in the comfort of your home. So today we have over 500 brands on the Pomelo app, including Pomelo. Ranging from apparel, shoes, bags, accessories, cosmetics, home and living, activewear. For us today, we have 27 physical retail locations across Southeast Asia. The majority of them are in Thailand, but we're going to do a big push in Malaysia and Singapore in particular this year, as well as some of the non-Bangkok areas of Thailand. Yeah, I think we've been very pleased with how the business has developed. You know, myself and my co-founders, the founding team, we started in a small apartment. That was our first office. We had the warehouse, the studio, the desks all in the same room. So that was when we started a little over 8 years ago. Since then, we've grown exponentially. We've attracted, over $100 million in investment. We have an amazing team, and I can't really ask for more. So at Pomelo, we're an employee-centric organization, and what we really focus on are our core values. So we have 5 core values that we adhere to as much as we can. So the first one is entrepreneur at heart. And what we mean by that is really having a sense of ownership. Ownership of your project, ownership of the results, ownership of the customer experience. And I think this is really critical. The second one is wow your customer. So that's related to the first one. And it talks about, and really the goal is to make decisions based on what the customers want, not what the business needs are, not what the founder thinks is right, but by really focusing on the customer. The third one is be curious. Things are changing every single day. There's a new platform, new marketing channel, new brands in the market. People are experimenting every day with new business models, right? And it's really important to always say to ourselves, what more could we be doing? What do we not know? What are areas that we have to explore and understand better, right? So that's the third one. The fourth one is never, never, never give up. And I think this is key. When you're trying to solve a big problem, you're going to run into roadblocks. You're going to run into challenges, right? And the only way the challenge can beat you is if you give up, right? And that's why never, never, never give up is really important. And the last one, which is the most important one, is we, not me, right? I think oftentimes you hear people say, okay, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go further, go together. And I think that's really important because if you want to create a really extraordinary experience for your customers, every single team, department has to work seamlessly together to provide that experience. Number one, I think a lot can change in a very short period of time, right? So the important thing is to really think big, be bold, and take risks, right? Get out of your comfort zone, do something that excites you, try to push the limit, and make sure that you're providing a really useful and valuable experience to your users or your customers. I think that's really the key. I think one of the biggest challenges has obviously been COVID, right? Starting almost 2 years ago now, the world has changed a lot. But it also, in some ways, has presented a lot of opportunities for us. And I think, whether it's how we think about work, right? So the evolution of work. Do we have to be in the office? Can we work remotely? What does it mean to come together as a company? I think those are the things that we have to answer, and we have to answer well. I think our employees and everybody expects us to really think carefully about the future of work. And I think if you do that, you're going to become more competitive going forward. One of the key competitive advantages that I think we have is that as a company and as individuals who work within Pomelo, we embrace change. So we see change as a positive force, something that allows us to get better, to improve. And I think that's really the key. If you can look at change and see it as an opportunity for growth, for improving the customer experience, then you're going to seek out new ideas, right? You're going to seek out new challenges. And I think that's really critical to ensuring that we continue to grow and are successful. So I think, one of the most interesting things that I heard is culture is software, right? And then the people, their intelligence, their IQ, EQ, that's the hardware, right? So you can have the best hardware in the world, but if you don't have the right software, you're not going to be able to progress. And I think that's really the key. Can you create an operating system that can fully utilize the potential of each and every person within the company? So of course, pick the smartest person, the most driven person, the best problem solver, but make sure that they also are going to adapt well to your culture, right, which is your software. I think in terms of the software, you have to keep upgrading the versions, okay? So the software, the approach that worked 5 years ago is not the approach that's going to work today, and the approach that we have today is not going to work 5 years from now. And I think the best companies, whether it's Apple or otherwise, they're constantly improving the software in addition to the hardware. And I think that's really the key. I think the most important thing that I've learned is to make sure that you're in the right place at the right time, and then to work hard to take advantage of those opportunities. In any kind of landscape, you know, there are going to be different sets of challenges and opportunities. And if you go after the right opportunity and put in the maximum amount of effort, I think you're going to get the reward. And that's really been my personal approach, and that's something that I will hopefully continue to do going forward.